Good evening from New York. I'm Selwyn Collins, your host of CWS As It Is. Welcome again. I call this the Village Square, where Guyanese can come together on a Sunday afternoon and share their ideas and discuss various matters. So I've been asked about this particular series I've started with Guyanese Youth in Business. Are you crazy? What are you doing? They are young. I've even heard things like they may not have the commitment to be on time and all these different things. But I beg to disagree. I feel that someone at some point has to step forward and set the pace. And it requires some amount of commitment and some amount of leadership. I can't do this alone. And this is why I call it a village square, because it takes a village. And so I will ask each and every one of you to participate in some way or the other to find a way to encourage and empower these young people. They are doing what they can with what they have from where they are, and I think that is rather commendable. This evening you will meet Raqayyah Boyer of Provotique, a collection of businesses, Mr. Ryan Prasad of the Solution Center, a technology company, Mrs. Christine Gara, the Canberra Forest of Everything Makes Craft, and our take on upcycling and its benefits. I can't wait to hear that. And then there is Mariska Fitko Jordan and Shante Noel, partners of Kalisi, the craft of handmade, personalized greeting cards and invitations. I'm sounding rushed because we have a lot to cover, and if I mispronounce some names, you guys forgive me. I am going to bring on this beautiful lady who you see on the other side of the screen, Miss Raqayyah Boyer. Raqayyah, good afternoon, and welcome to CWS As It Is.
Good afternoon, Mr. Collins, and a happy birthday to you.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you so much. Raqayyah, when your friends describe you, what do they usually say about you that you agree with?
I wouldn't share because I don't agree with what they say about me. But because usually the first thing that comes to mind is usually they're like, girl, you're very crazy. And I think it's more that I am very inventive with my thoughts and the way my mind works. And then I'm a free spirit. That one thing I might agree on, but the other things, I think I'll keep that part private and let people meet them and judge for themselves when they have something to say.
So here you are, right? Lots of experience on the international stage of modeling and
pageantry and such.
Pageantry, thank you very much. Pageantries and so on. And you're an entrepreneur. Young, smart, beautiful. Why entrepreneurship?
I mean, why not? So, like, I've done the pageantry, the Miss Universe World International, and, I decided that after that, I wanted to take some time off to kind of like explore the world, kind of travel, kind of get to see things, learn new things, because I think through travel, you find out a lot about yourself and you get to kind of find your path. I was working with the Vision Airlines company in collaboration with the Travel Span as a flight attendant. I went to flight school, I graduated and so on. And so after the pageantry, after I took a little pause, I got involved with aviation. And it so happened that the contract that those two companies held broke apart. So what transpired after that was basically me being unemployed. I have this portfolio where I want to continue basically growing as an individual, developing myself as an individual and not just standing still. So what were my options after that point of no employment from a company that I was basically benefiting from? So I thought to my talents, I thought to my strengths, I thought to the things that interested me. And the only way to go was entrepreneurship as a result of that, because I'm not I don't have the personality for sitting at a desk and, taking phone calls. While that is commendable for those who can indulge, it's not within my spirit to just follow the mold, so to speak. So I basically came up with my own ideas, my own initiative, and just went for it, basically.
So What is Pro Boutique really?
Pro Boutique, okay. So Pro Boutique is a brainchild of mine, which is a conglomerate of small enterprises located right here in Guyana. The motto for it is innovation that inspires, in that you come up with something that's innovative, and hopefully it inspires other young persons like yourself or other persons who have a vision for something that they're interested in, get invested in. So go ahead and do it, so to speak, whether it's entrepreneurship or anything else that will yield some sort of success for them. So Pro Boutique was founded last year, last July, August, so to speak, and it came out with the first installment, which is Pro Boutique Image and Beauty Pageant Consultancy. I also have Pro Boutique Walking Tours, which is the second installment for the umbrella, which was launched in January, and that, as you know, as you've had the discussion with my partner, is a partnership between myself and another colleague, Miss Candace Lane, who I also worked with in aviation.
You know, I'm sitting here. Could you do me a favor? Just adjust your screen so it doesn't cut off the top of your head. Good. Awesome.
No problem.
All right. Now, here you are. You're talking about a conglomerate of businesses. I know you. I know how busy you can be, and you know when you were doing your pageantry, and it's like, Selwyn, I'm running here, running there, and so on. So hard work is no problem to you. Keeping a tight schedule is nothing new to you. But why several businesses? Why not one?
So one of my role models when it comes to business and on a whole is Richard Branson. And one of the things he said is that if you can make one business successful, why not have more than one? Basically. So, so business is business. So, you know, like the idea for Pro Boutique Walking Tours, for instance, as the second installment, was within the initial framework of Pro Boutique. However, you know, I have this 5-year tenure and experience with pageantry and modeling and travel and so on. And it was not an idea to get invested, to get involved with business per se. But then I had all my colleagues and friends reaching out to me for advice if they're going into pageants. Some folks want some confidence booster and so on and so forth. So, like, you know, I wasn't working, and I decided to basically take all the expertise and all the knowledge and all the information that I had and turn it into a venture that can be profitable for myself and help me enable my growth and my development. And I mean, to everyone that's doing that, I think it's nothing that's unnatural or something to frown upon.
Here what is a little bit unnatural, at least from my generation. The courage to, not the desire, but the courage to actually transfer gifts and talents into revenue. Now, there is this thing among West Indians, that this thing about money, about asking for money, about providing a service for money. So maybe there's something new about this particular generation, which I am learning and I'm admiring a lot. You have these gifts, you have these talents and experience, and these people coming to you for advice. How did you come about deciding to convert that into a revenue stream?
Simply because I'm the type of individual who I need to, whatever I'm invested in, irrespective of whether it's business or pageantry or even probably being a mother in the future, it has to be something that I'm passionate about, anything that I'm involved with. So even in work, even if I'm generating revenue, I was in aviation because I love travel. So I was working for someone then, but once that basically went out of the window, and, you know, basically they said, everything hit the fan, you had to make some kind of accommodation to make yourself grow, make yourself pick yourself up and continue. So for me, it was quite natural, the transition to get involved in entrepreneurship, to basically utilize what I know or the experience that I have or the talents that I have and have it generate revenue. Basically, it's just having the ability to network, being a people's person, going out there and pushing and staying the course and not giving up, because you're going to get lots of no's and you just have to prepare and expect that is going to happen at some point. Once you get that out of the way and get that mental block that, you know, everyone's going to tell you no at some point, then you can just move forward and keep treading forward. You're going to grow. You're not going to be perfect at first, but as time progresses, you're going to gain more experience, you're going to gain more knowledge. And once you're willing to work and you're dedicated to the cause and you believe in your vision and your dream, then anything's possible.
What made you realize that you were cut out for business?
I have it in my genes, my dad's a bit entrepreneur, and I never realized that it was something that I can transition into so easily. It's just that, they usually say you get a lot of signals coming at you and you don't really recognize it until you really pay attention. It's just, I didn't realize the point when, the entrepreneurship label came into play. It just happened. And I've been doing business technically for my entire life. So it just so happened that now it's more structured. Now there's more of a structured element to the way I conduct business. You have to register, you signed up, you bring in partners, you have boards, you now have a financial plan, you have your business plan, and these things, there's more of a structure to make sure that it's something that can be more successful, because once you get involved, now you have to apply these methods that previous persons before you would have applied in order to be successful.
For this, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so I guess it's always been there. It's just a matter of me recognizing it and taking advantage of the opportunity once it befell me.
For those young people listening to you tonight and this afternoon and are considering becoming entrepreneurs themselves, what are 2 or 3 things, let's say 3 things, that you feel one must consider before they go down this path?
Well, 3 things. One is definitely believe in whatever it is that you are aspiring to do. If you have a vision, let's say you wanted to invest in technology, as I know one of the other young folks you have coming on is invested in technology. If that's your dream, if that's your vision, then you have to have 1000% conviction within your own self, because it goes a long way. You can have a vision, you can have a plan, and not be as confident about that plan going forward, and that can deter you when people come to you and keep telling you no, or if the obstacles come along throughout the path that you're trying to trod, basically. So I would say have that belief within yourself. You have to be disciplined, and that's a tough thing with our young folks, yes, but I beg to differ that it's across the board, so to speak. We're a different generation. We do have our lackadaisical things here and there, but once we're committed to the cause, the discipline comes with it, because there's only one way out of it. You have to be disciplined, you have to be committed, but that also ties in back to the passion that you have for whatever it is you're venturing into. So discipline, belief, and I would say the third thing would be to associate yourself with people with like minds, because you need the support. You really need a group of people, even if it's 1 or 2 persons. You need people around you that are going to be encouraging for you, because you are going to have dumb times. You're only human, so you need to surround yourself with people who are like-minded, who are just as equally ambitious, who are on the path of where you're trying to basically head to. So once you have that, then everything else will align itself correctly, and just work hard. It's going to come. What's to come?
Before I get into the meat of your business, the heart of it, I want to ask you about some of your challenges when you first started. How did people around you react to you and this venture? And B, what are some challenges that might have frightened the dickens out of you?
Okay, so the initial, so when I came up with Provotique, like I said, I mentioned one of the key elements in entrepreneurship is to surround yourself with like-minded individuals and to people that are supportive. Mm-hmm. So when I came up with the idea for Provotique, it was well received. The folks that are around me, a lot of them, which I realized afterwards, which probably led to why I even got involved in business. It's probably because of that external influence. A lot of those folks are in business. And I obviously went to them, what do you think of this idea? Do you think it's feasible? Do you sense? And they were completely supportive of it and said, yes, go for it. And one friend even mentioned that everyone, you might not know, but everyone would hope to be an entrepreneur. That's basically a goal for everyone although they might not admit it. So I haven't had difficulties in terms of the support within my internal grouping. And I'm usually quite a positive person, so it's very hard for me to say I've had difficulties in terms of tuning into my vision and making sure that it was set up the way that I wanted it to be set. I'm going to focus on the first one that was launched, which is the Provotique Image and Beauty Pageant Consultancy. Now, the consultancy focuses on 3 core aspects, which deals with the physical, behavior, and communication aspects of an individual. That helps in when we focus on those 3 things, it helps to basically garner and build self-confidence within young people. But the young people aren't the focus, however, they do gravitate towards the what is offered within that package. Confidence helps people to become more sure of themselves. It helps that when they're certain of themselves, they're usually more happier people. So the philosophy behind it, if I'm to just wrap it up in a nutshell, is happy people, happy communities, happy tongues, happy countries, happy world in a nutshell. So it's a ripple effect that it creates from a very small core thing, and that ripple effect also helps to eliminate some of the social ills that is a big issue here in Guyana, like suicide, domestic violence, and these things. We just have a need where we need more confident people in society.
Are you confident? Are you confident that that there is or do you think? Are you confident that there is a movement, or can be a movement of young entrepreneurship in Guyana?
I believe that the young, why I'm confident that that is so and that is possible is because we had the elections last year, and I believe in a very large sum that election, the coalition won that as a result of young people really coming out in their numbers, uniting as people that wanted to change. So in that same effort, when we saw the need for possibly a change of government to create a different path for our country, similarly, young people are frustrated by, the high rates in unemployment, the dependency factions that's out there. So I think as a result of that, it's causing young people to venture into the things that they have as hobbies to generate an income.
What are some businesses you have seen that that have sprung up in the past year?
In the past year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so, I was a part of the business pitch. There was a business pitch competition that was held by the ministry, the Small Business Bureau and the Ministry of Business. I think they had a business pitch during the Business Expo. And during that period, I met with a lot of other young entrepreneurs. There was this young man who, I can't remember the name of it currently, and I apologize just in case he ever sees this interview, but he was selling fudge cakes.
Uh-huh.
So, and his business has been around for some time, and it's growing, and it's something that he makes himself. Him and his mother, they make that. That's something that they're involved in that service. And then there is Bo Jade, who does her bows. She basically makes these bows. She now has staff. She's quite young as well. There is also another colleague of mine who's gone into the clothing sphere. She basically distributes, buys and sells clothing. Some friends of mine are in jewelry, and so on and so forth. Well, I'm basically in the image consultancy and tourism sector.
So I'm so sorry, but today's my birthday and everybody is
I know.
calling.
Happy birthday to you, Stellan.
Everybody's calling. What I ask everybody this question. I'm going to ask you, what is your deepest fear about doing business in Guyana?
I think it's about, my deepest fear is more about within myself and being able to sustain my drive and being able to ensure that I make the right connections and grow the way I'm supposed to grow more so, because business, whether it's in Guyana or the United States, is basically the same thing, but reliability can be one thing because we have a big gap when it comes to dependability, depending on your superiors. You make a phone call, you're trying to arrange a meeting, and you kind of been put off maybe because of your age, maybe because you're young, maybe because you're not in a certain capacity just yet. And I think my fear ties into the older folks not wanting to allow themselves be in a position where they can pull up the younger ones that are in a place that can have these ideas. Them not realizing that sharing that information and sharing that expertise is really helping to mold the young minds and give them a platform where they can really grow in terms of entrepreneurship, can deter the more people getting involved, so we can probably tapping out early sooner than their dreams are realized. So those are a little bit of my fears,
right.
But more so, overall, I'm a driven and positive and optimistic person. I do have a practical approach to everything I get invested in, but overall, I'm very optimistic that the way things are going, since a lot of young persons are on board with entrepreneurship and really getting involved and not succumbing to the status quo, that we'll move mountains.
How does one find your business, Raqayyah?
Okay, so both businesses have Facebook pages. There's Pro Boutique Image and Beauty Pageant Consultancy. It's on Facebook. We have a Facebook page for that. Pro Boutique is spelled Probotiquue. And then there is Pro Boutique Walking Tours. It has both a Facebook page, it has Instagram, and there's a website. So it's www.proboutiquewalkingtours.com. To book tours, but basically you reserve by email. It's proboutiquewalkingtours@yahoo.com. You send an email and with your name, and all the information is available on the website, since I know you're pressed for time. So all the information as it regards to how you can book walking tours within Guyana is available on the website. You can message on Facebook as well. You can call telephone number 691-6274 or 692-2735 and try to get onto any of the persons involved. The secretary, the office is located at Lot 32 to 34, Regent and Hayes Street. We have office set up there where you can come in if you want to make a reservation to book a tour. In terms of the consultancy, if you're interested in image consultancy or beauty pageant consultancy and coaching, you can contact telephone number 691-6274. You can also email consultproboutique25@yahoo.com and request packages to see what are the offers, and then we'll get right back to you.
691-6 what?
691-6274.
691-6274. How are you encouraged by what you're doing?
It's a passion, and then the thought of, I think one of the things you need to recognize that the only job security that is real job security is having your own business.
I like that.
So I revel in the knowledge of knowing that if I make this work, then I would have secured myself as an individual when it comes to growth, when it comes to certain levels of stability, and when it comes to inspiring and also leaving a legacy in this framework. Outside of that, it's just my pure drive and my motivation, and the knowledge that it's real. If it's going to be, then it's up to me. So no one else is going to do this for me. If I want to be successful, if I want to achieve certain things, if I want to make accommodations for other people to achieve certain things in this life, then I have to do the work, and I have to put in invest the time and energy in order to make it a success.
If you had the ear of the government, and you had to make a case for entrepreneurship among the youth, we all hope, and I have a lot of hope in the future of young people in Guyana and entrepreneurship. But sometimes even hope needs a little bit of help. So if you had the ear of the government and they're asking you, okay, so make your case for young entrepreneurs, what are 2 or 3 things you would say to them that can be helpful?
Okay, so I would present myself. I would first of all present myself in the capacity of what I'm doing. I said that's most familiar to me at present, and basically showcasing how the services that I offer can help implement and affect society in a very positive light. For instance, I mentioned earlier that image consultancy can help build confidence, and we have a very big issue with suicide in our country. It's a huge issue. We have all these other ailments that are ongoing in society. I would more likely, given the field of work that I'm involved in, appeal to the Minister of Education to basically allow for some collaboration where we can go into schools, where I can continue going into schools because I've been doing it since with the pageants, and having workshops, and also reaching out to both the private and public sector, and more advertising and creating a package or infomercials that allows folks to see the importance of being a part of the process. And likewise, the same for tourism, the walking tours. The walking tours, while it invites tourists to come and see the architectural landscape and to see or learn about our historical facts, the main thing is really about restoring a sense of pride and nationalism for Guyana and Guyanese on a whole, because that, I believe, is one of the fundamental things that is crippling our society, folks not being patriotic enough. And I think that lends itself to us not understanding our culture, not understanding who we are, where we came from. So learning about simple things about the coffee, different monuments and so on can help lend itself to restoring that patriotism. And I've seen that with restored landmarks that we've had basically off the scene for some while that I wasn't even aware of. So I would first focus on the things that I'm involved in to basically highlight how this can impact positively on society, and then move to part to say that, like myself, other young folks have quite very innovative ideas. They just basically need the guidance. In some cases, they need better loans and better grants, because I know they have there's small business bureau that offers grants and helps in offsetting some of the loans, or puts itself up as a hard capital as one of the people that can offset you getting loans from the bank as well. For those who are interested, there is the small business bureau that can help facilitate loans. However, enough isn't being done to focus on that. I think the government can actually zone in to focusing on entrepreneurship as the thing of the day, and encouraging more young people to get involved in it, because it really allows for security. And it's not only that, but it triggers back to the economy in terms of growing the economy. And we know we have a lot of issues in terms of.
Let me ask you. Hold on a second. Let me ask you this. I want to get in there before time runs out. But let me ask you this. And by the way, you made a very compelling case just now for how the government could develop partnerships with this whole.
I wish I had more time to get vested in it.
Yes. Now, if partnerships could be developed between the young entrepreneurs in Guyana and the diaspora, and people beyond, what do you think? How do you think Guyanese in the diaspora can help? Can assist you?
One of the critical things, I can attest that a lot of young persons have great ideas. They might not be completely solid in terms of how they're structured, in terms of the path in which it's facilitated to become a reality. But what all the folks can do is lend their expertise and also put their financial support behind these great ideas. If it's a case whereby you have more competitions, like I know they've had business pitches, but for me, I only heard about business pitch that one time that when I was involved, and then I remembered them having like a few pitches with some other private sector or other organizations here and there, but it wasn't like really big in the media, or at least I was not cognizant of it.
So Raqayyah,
awareness to what's going on, and then you can connect the dots so that the other people, the folks can.
So you feel that there should be, or there can be, or there's room for more engagement, more participation, for education, assisting you guys through advice, through finding markets perhaps, through financial support, in form of loans and so on. You feel that there is a lot of room for that?
There is a lot of room for that, and also there's a room for allowing for the institutional support as well, where infrastructure is put in place to allow for persons interested in business and interested in honing their skills more, where they can learn from an accredited institution that teaches the things that you need to know in the business world. I know we have University of Guyana, but more institutions we've not heard that are more specialized in these particular aspects of things.
Let me just go to the chat room, and then we have to close off for the evening.
Okay.
Patrick said, I am impressed, Selwyn. These young people are wise and eloquent and brave, really proud. Dan said, excellent, Raqayyah. You by yourself have helped restore patriotism with your energy and eloquence. Shaliza said, Scotiabank also has a business plan tool on their website for small businesses. Raqayyah, I have to say, you know, I sat here for about 2.5 hours or so this Sunday afternoon, and it is not a moment has been wasted. Not a moment. I am totally, I echo what Patrick said. I am really impressed. I am encouraged to continue. We have 3 more series, 3 more parts, and I am going to encourage other young Guyanese to come on the platform and share their ideas, because you guys are doing some amazing things with the limited resources you have. You made a very compelling case just now for the government participation. This is not about beating up on the government, but encouraging and inviting them to take a look at what is there.
Don't make this thing sugarcoated. I'm going to call it for what it is. The government needs to be more involved. I mean,
yeah, Raqayyah, but hold on a second. Let me just say this. Yeah, I think there are different ways of encouraging people to do things that might be uncomfortable and unusual. So by seeing these recordings and tuning in, we're hoping that we can inspire the kind of efforts that are necessary to empower and encourage you guys. And I want to thank you very much for taking the time, for believing in yourself, for having the courage and the confidence to continue. So congratulations, my sister. Congratulations on everything you're doing.
Well, Selwyn, it's either that or be depressed.
You like that word. Well, Raqayyah, enjoy the rest of your evening.
Just saying, champion.
Enjoy the rest of the evening, and thank you.
Likewise, and have a great remainder of your birthday. And thanks for giving us this great opportunity to hear our information about it.
Thank you. Good evening.
Good evening.